I don't know about you guys on the couch, but there's probably like 5 or 6 sports out there that if you give me like 4 weeks to train, I could go pro in. Agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I'd say there's probably a good like 5, 6 at least that I think I could go pro it if I was young and was able to like move into it.
No. Give me the weeks right now. Table tennis, badminton, fuck.
Bowling,
Bo-
darts.
Bowling?
Yeah, darts. Easy. There's
Hey,
so many sports.
I've been
Who do you think I am?
I've
Yeah.
been playing soccer for 2 weeks. I could probably just compete with Messi and Ronaldo
Wait, no,
right
is it?
now.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
I
I
am.
am.
That's it.
Pete
yeah,
Weber
it's
is
like-
so good.
Oh, that's so
Love
funny.
Pete Weber.
So we got a tier list here for you guys. We're going to be ranking this on how difficult it would be to go pro in these sports, and we're going to base the requirements because we can't do it based off of our current age and weight and everything. Because
Whoa.
well, I can't.
I love how you
sure.
kind of like pointed this way.
Yeah, our weight.
Listen, there is a
He
couch
pointed outside of the
differential
couch
here.
is
Let's not
crazy,
avoid it.
dude.
We'll say we're like all 10 years old. We have all the knowledge, and it's like our parents are like, hey, there's one sport we're going to put you in. We're going to rank these on like what we think we could go kind of pro in. Pretty easy, pretty difficult. Basketball being the first one, I kind of think it's doable. Like it's hard. It's a hard-ish sport, but there's a lot of pro. There isn't just the NBA. It's like European basketball. There's
Right.
like Asian basketball. Like I consider those pro.
So
Yeah.
we should like and the 5 columns here we have impossible, difficult, doable, and then possible, and then get in, get out.
Get in, get paid.
Get it paid.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, basketball. If your mom slept with a tree, that's get paid. That's easy.
Yeah, but this is
If
an
your mom,
average.
if your mom slept with a lawn gnome, that's impossible. So there, you know,
So you're kind of in the middle then. You'd be doable.
maybe.
What do we think?
I'd say on the I'd say
I'm
on
difficult.
yeah, I'd say on like NBA like it is for sure doable. I'd say it's possible.
You
I don't
think
think-
it's below doable?
No, I think it's harder than that.
Right, because you still have to have like incredible like think about even like the smaller guys that had incredible skills in passing but like weren't able to block or like jam, right? Like you got your Steve Nashes and your Jason Williamsons or
Yeah.
Jason
Yeah,
Williams.
but these
like,
guys are also still like 6'3". You know what I mean?
right, but there's so many guys that could have gone pro like that were in like the and one, like the professor, for instance. Like these are guys that are incredibly talented and they couldn't really crack the NBA.
So
Like I don't know if it's doable. I'd say it's possible.
so you're saying possible, you're saying difficult.
Yeah,
Do we just go in the middle at doable?
I think we have to.
I
All
think
right,
that's
let's
fair.
go with doable.
That's
right
fair.
now.
Tennis. I'm gonna let you guys go first because I have an opinion on this one.
So it's crazy because like you have to think like there's clay, there's grass, like there's so many different surfaces,
Yeah, give
And,
me
like,
a
that's
week on each surface. I'm pro.
and there's a
doable.
there's a big difference between that and like it really comes down to like your ability to serve, right? Like that's where that's where you're really getting your points. I would say like I'd say it's possible. But like if we're now already comparing to the NBA, then you have to put it in doable, I guess.
I think it's difficult.
No way.
There's
I'm going
only
possible.
1,800 people on the ATP tour, which is like I know you could be kind of pro, but that's like the one pro tournament. Like it's golf. Like that's the one pro like circuit
But
there
but
is.
it's not set up like other professional sports where you have like such a degree of like going from high school to college to like there. It's still available for tennis, but just not to the nth degree like other professional sports.
It isn't, but tennis is the only sport I know where like the average Joe can actually get ranked. And I think like if you're a 4.0, like there's people like I looked into joining tennis. Like there's like people who are like 4.0s like on Facebook looking for people to play with because they're just like, hey, it's like a hobby I do.
Right.
Like I think like the tennis circuit is like 9+ minimum. I could quote me on that. I don't know if I'm right on that or not on that, but like I don't know. It's pretty damn hard. You got to
think-
think about all the cardio you
I
have
put
to
it
do too.
impossible.
Yeah, I think
it's
it's
possible.
I think it's definitely possible.
I think you guys are gonna get destroyed in the comments, but okay.
All right,
Put
so
impossible.
two versus one, so we're putting
Yeah,
Put
impossible.
impossible.
We beat you out.
Volleyball.
Volleyball, I put impossible or get in, get paid.
I was gonna say it's easier than tennis. I'd say.
Right, but
It's a
once again,
team
like
sport.
if like Terry said, if your mom married a tree, like you're in such a great position.
You're in
for
a, yeah,
volleyball.
you're
Yeah.
great. You just stand at the net and put your arms up.
And usually the pros, whether you're men or women, like they're usually doing it as like multi-sport. So like they're in volleyball, they're playing baseball, another sport, or basketball.
So get paid.
Yeah. I'd
Okay,
say
but I
get
feel
get
like
paid.
those people are playing volleyball in like a rec league, and it's like this is just a Monday night. Oh, we're playing volleyball tonight.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's not the guys going pro and playing for Team Canada or whatever, wherever
Yeah.
they're
The,
playing.
the only
right?
thing that makes it like higher on the difficulty is like if you're playing beach volleyball and it's 2v2, which is incredibly difficult on sand.
Doing anything on sand is impossible.
Yeah. So like,
I would
but
move
if
it
you're
up to
talking about
possible.
if you're talking about 6v6 and hardwood or cement, like I'd say it's definitely get in, get paid.
I'd be fine with moving it up to possible behind tennis. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Hockey, I'm going impossible. As someone who's learning how to skate again from because the last time I skated was 10. Dude, holy shit.
And I'm more putting it in impossible because of the sheer numbers and the cost.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
factor
There's
that
so
into.
much to
Right,
it
and
outside of just skill. Your parents being able to afford to get you into hockey at a good level and keep you there is
But also, we're not
insanely
we
priced.
also have to take into consideration the politics. The massive politics and greasing the wheels. So I'd put it impossible.
Yeah, I'd put it in impossible. I will say there are other pro leagues beside the NHL, so there's more leagues you could get into.
Yeah.
But even
You could
just
be
the
playing in
sheer
Europe.
affordability of it, combined with just being able to fucking skate and do all this insane shit on a .25 or whatever the inch blade is. Yeah, I agree with that. Golf. As someone who's been trying to learn golf is not easy.
Get in, get paid.
No, not even close.
No, I'd say it's doable. So like you can get in and you can be on like the challenger circuit or like trying to get your PGA card, and as soon as you do well in one tournament, you're pretty much like, especially if you place well, then you have pretty much like you have what do they call it when you get inaugurated where you can always play in that tournament.
Oh my, I forget. I know what you're talking about.
I forget the I don't know why it's slipping
in.
my mind, but
Something like that.
But like
I'd go doable too.
yeah,
I say
put it in doable.
possible.
You guys are absolutely ridiculous. You just said NHL is way too expensive. Do you know how much fucking clubs cost? And then going every single weekend to pay for the course. And then the pro card used to be $10,000 just to enter the tournament to see if you get your card. You guys are fucking stupid.
No way. No, I don't think that. No, it's nowhere near the cost of NHL, dude. Because you have to buy, like, especially before you're sponsored or partnered and all that. Like, to buy a stick is $325, and you're buying 5 or 6 at a time.
A set of clubs
those
is
things
$1,200 for a low end set.
Right, but that can last you for more than a year.
Yeah, but you're spending $150 every single weekend to play the game.
Yeah, because you got to think about when you're practicing and shit, like going to like a
And
9
I think
or
you,
18.
I think you guys are forgetting, like, it's what you also think you can do. I don't think any of you could fucking shoot par in less than 10 years.
Do I get a handicap?
No way, dude. My boys go drinking all the time and hit par. I don't believe that shit. That's easy. Put it possible. Put it under get in, get paid.
Okay, can we do a challenge where we get Terry to try and get par on 9? And can we just do that?
Okay,
I would
but
fucking.
There's a difference between playing golf every weekend and playing golf once since you were 15 years old.
And
Okay?
You just
There's
said you
there's
think you
a
can
little
get
bit
par.
of a
the thing that
difference
puts
there.
it, like, golf easier
Back me
than
up,
hockey
Babs.
is because, like, you have more options of playing multiple different courses throughout the entire year.
Yeah.
It's and
But to Nick's
have
point,
ice
it does
time.
get up there price wise. Like if
Yeah.
you're playing 18, like the cheapest 18 is like $50, and that's at like a pretty okay course.
Everything has a price here, though, to have like access to the facilities
Yeah.
or to a course or whatever.
I
right?
would put it high. I'd put it either high difficult or high doable or then low difficult. That's what I would do.
Okay, so I'm fine with difficult.
Okay, difficult. Let's do
Ugh.
it. Baseball.
See, and it depends. Like, are you a pitcher? Are you a
Get
hitter?
in, get paid. All
No,
right. Look at
absolute-
Alejandro
absolute-
Kirk. The
dude.
the dude's shaped like a meatball.
Dude, one of the
Terry's
hardest
gonna
fo-
get fired
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fucking fast, bro.
It is
Oh my
so
God.
hard to hit a fucking 95 mile per hour fastball, dude.
Bro.
It is incredible.
Hitting a baseball is the hardest single sport thing to do.
By the time that the pitcher has the windup to then you having to connect with the bat is less than a blink of a second.
It's
Wait.
0.2 seconds.
There's no way that's the hardest thing to do in sports.
It-
Hitting like an 80-yard field goal would be harder. No?
Well, you're not kicking an 80-yard field
You're
goal.
not
That's exactly that's what I'm saying. That's why it would be harder.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
no one's
okay, the
gonna make
hardest
that
thing in
kick.
the world in sports to do would be to shoot in a hockey net 3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you can't-
harder.
You can't do that in a real game.
You can't hit an 80-yarder in a real game.
Well, that's something that could happen.
No
for
one's
sure.
done
No.
it.
No one's done it, but it's something that could
Well,
actually
Well, it could
happen.
happen with the 300,000-mile hockey shot.
I think
How?
I think the
How would that
furthest
happen? Is it going to bounce off the board 17
Where's your proof?
times?
It's possible.
Where are you going to get the ice for that though?
It's possible.
Where are you
If
getting
the
ice?
entire world froze
Where-
over and I had a hockey
no,
stick.
But that's not an NHL game. In a football game, someone could kick, or theoretically, someone could kick an 80-yard field goal, and that could be possible. No one's going to be able to shoot 7 million miles in a hockey.
That's fair.
I-
So
I-
based off that, it's
yeah.
possible to score 50 goals in a game because no one's done it before,
Yeah,
but you could do
okay,
it within
okay,
60 minutes.
Okay, so if you're going to say that, but that's not one thing that a person is going to do.
It's possible though.
So
Okay,
I-
baseball. What are we
50
playing
things that a
baseball?
person is going to do. Hitting a baseball and hitting 50 baseballs is different than.
Nick, you said you could pitch 85. Next time we're in the studio, can we just swing? Like, can we just get a bat and have Terry do like
Please
3
do.
swings?
We should go to a diamond
Easy.
and do
I
some
we
hitting.
need to do this now.
I'll do it. I'll hit a home run.
I would love to throw.
Okay, so baseball's where? I'd say it's impossible.
Yeah, I'm between
No
impossible
way.
and difficult. I think that there's because
Doable.
they have like a larger draft system and more rounds. I think there's a chance that you
Yeah.
can get drafted.
And then there's also a million different leagues of baseball too.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
put,
but if you're playing friggin' college, I would argue college isn't pro. I'd
If
say
you're-
if you get
if you're
single A,
getting
double A,
paid
triple A.
to play your sport, that's professional.
that is true. Yeah.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
fair.
get paid to
if
play
you're-
your
Yeah,
sport,
that's fair.
absolutely,
Same
that's
thing for like
professional.
esports and gaming. If you're playing for viewers and you're getting paid, you're considered a pro.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
High difficult?
I'm gonna put it in high difficult.
Okay. I agree with that.
Would you put it ahead of golf?
No. I think it's a harder sport than golf, but I think golf's just harder, just based on affordability wise.
Right.
I think golf is just so expensive that it's up there. Rugby,
Rugby is something I put higher up there because of
the physicality.
exactly the physicality of it.
Yeah.
You need to be able to take hits and not give a fuck.
Right.
And with no equipment.
Yes. And that's why that and lacrosse, I think, are two sports that are so fucking difficult, is because you're gonna get beat the fuck up.
I'd agree with difficult.
Yeah, I'd put rugby in difficult.
Gymnastics.
I'm gonna say possible.
That's a tough one.
Because like if you're able to train from being 10 and once again like there's so many different variations of gymnastics.
Yeah.
If you're able to start very young, I think and once again like we're not talking about going and being in the Olympics for gymnastics. We're talking about just being a professional like gymnast.
Good enough to qualify as pro, get
yeah,
paid.
professional gymnast. I think
Yeah.
it's definitely possible.
I think possible's fair.
Yeah, I think the younger you start, because your body's still flexible
Yeah,
as you're a
and
kid,
you,
right?
and you have
Yeah.
to
So
start.
you start building those muscles and getting them
Like
where
all
you
these
need
things
be.
you have to start young, but I mean like I think that is a sport in which you have the ability of not having to have a massive barrier entry, a lot of gatekeepers.
Yep.
For you to be able to find your niche within that sport.
So I would disagree that some of these you need to start young, but
Fair.
we'll get there.
Lacrosse difficult? Is that kind of
No,
unanimous?
I don't think it's. I don't know because it's not difficult. Like I see this as easily doable. Right. So like once
No
again,
way.
you're not on skates. Right. You're running and walking around. You can catch the ball easily. It's really your ability to defend against like someone that's
But you also got to keep in mind, how big is the pro sphere of lacrosse? It's not big. There's not many teams that you're going to be playing
I
for
think
either.
that's what might put it in
So
low
it's
difficult.
your player pool is going to be significantly smaller in a game that is so much harder to play. Like lacrosse is 10 times worse than hockey is for how rough it is.
I
Not
just
even
see it
close.
as a sport in which not a lot of players like focus on that. So like
no.
yes, like
exactly.
the talent pool is not as large, and yes, the associations and like the ability to go pro is not as large. But
Mhm.
like, I feel with the right time and understanding, and that's what you're focusing on, I think it's absolutely doable. I think it's below doable.
No way.
I don't think it's
no
I think
way.
it's possible.
No.
I'd
You also
put
need wicked hand-eye for that too.
I'd put doable. I-
Okay, like
I just think I put it ahead of basketball,
yeah,
but behind everything else. I think everything
Fair.
else above it right now is harder.
fair.
That's fair.
Oh, I say basketball's in front of lacrosse.
No, I don't think so.
You guys are crazy.
Man, you need like shins of steel if you're
Yeah, yeah.
playing lacrosse,
Yep.
dude. My shins are made of glass. I've taken too many fucking pucks off.
Table tennis.
Ping pong. I'm gonna now.
Jesus.
It's it's crazy, like some of the crazy like serves and like returns that they have, like with just like the curves and.
But that's
like,
the elite.
yes.
Like that's the
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
elite
that's
of the
the
elite.
top.
I don't want to say get paid, but
I'd put possible.
I'd say possible for
I'd
sure.
say possible.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Skiing.
Get in and get
I have
paid.
such an irrational fear about skiing. I've never skied downhill ever.
I've never done it. It just seems like it's the easiest thing in the world. I grew up skateboarding, so snowboarding seems very easy. Skiing seems easier than that.
See,
so
for
I'm
me,
saying
like
get in
I
and
was
get
always
paid.
afraid of like my legs going split, and then like and then
It's
like
Bugs Bunny. This guy just
yeah, and going down the moguls,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like just thrashing my groin.
Now,
I was always terrified.
Here's the thing: is there's different types of skiing you could go pro in. Like you could do like there's the half pipe stuff where they do tricks.
Oh, dude.
There's the
okay,
moguls where
that-
they just go down. and it's
Downhill
timed.
skiing, I think, would be way easier. The actual like trick stuff, no chance.
When
See,
you
that's
combine the two,
impossible.
though, because you have to average it out, right?
I would love to just
Doable,
be able to
man.
bullet down. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
That's all I can
But
do.
I don't think that's like moguls. You have to like go over jumps and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
And then
happening.
the actual tricks one is tricks. So like based off that, I don't think it's get paid. I think it's high possible, low doable. Because like
I say doable.
skiing is
I-
also a
yeah.
little expensive. If we're talking about golf being expensive, skiing you have to pay for like a resort pass. Skis aren't cheap,
Yeah, and it's not like you can do it when everybody else.
and
is
you
on.
can't
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, so like
I would say doable.
I'd say doable.
Yeah, I agree with doable.
Doable.
Granted, I found a pair of skis in a dumpster once and had a great time.
Hot
so.
take: track and field. I think is get paid. I think
No.
if you're 10 years old, what do you have to do to be good at track and field? You have to get in shape, be fit,
Be Brock Lesnar's daughter.
and just practice running. There's no equipment.
Oh my God.
It's it's an easier
Running
barrier to
shoes,
entry.
dude.
You need running shoes and a track.
What
you don't
about
even need a track.
what about
right?
shot
but,
put?
But if you're talking about hurdles, or you're talking about triple jump, or like I'm not even really counting like. Well,
High
we're saying
jump?
this is track and field. Like now you're throwing in all like hammer throw, discus, javelin,
I'm
shot
not.
put.
I'm
Okay,
not doing. I'm doing
random
just running.
Can anybody name one like professional long jumper, high jumper,
I can
anything?
name a couple runners.
anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, running is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So
Usain
I
Bolt.
I will give you.
But running is so difficult.
I will
man.
give you the jumping one where they like do like I don't
I
know what
would
it's
argue
called.
running
Yeah.
is probably the easiest thing on this list. One foot in front of the other. We've been doing it our whole lives.
Right, but like
That's gotta be the
But the
easiest
difference of
one.
getting fifth or first and like seventh is like a tenth of a
For
second.
sure. Shave
Yeah.
your arm hair and you're done.
Oh my God.
Easy.
No, I want to say track and field would be in the difficult.
I'm
Get in.
I'm going high get paid, and the reason is
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with you on like the jumping the hurdles one or whatever, but then my counter argument would be 4x100 relay.
Yeah.
There's 4 people on a team. I have easier chances.
I get you guys are just focusing on the running aspect. If this is running, then I'll agree with you. But if we're factoring all of like summer track and field,
I'm
it's
not
in- it's
factoring in javelin or long
Alright.
jumping. It's just your feet are running.
all right. So if we're talking about running, then yes, I would say get paid.
I'm gonna go last on F. I'm gonna go last on. Is this racing or F1?
Just I think racing in general.
Yeah, racing in general.
'Kay.
Yeah, let's just.
So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but drivers have the most insane reaction time.
Yes.
It's not even close. So that is part of the reason why I would put this up near impossible. Plus, your family needs to have fucking money.
Yeah, but now it's easier because now there's like all the karting and the simulators that make it a lot easier for kids to like move into it
Yeah.
or to get spotted.
I'll say this: every time I watch someone doing racing sim, they're crashing and boom, and then they're
Yeah.
out cold.
Do you
for
know how
10
many
seconds.
G's an F1 driver pulls if they
No.
get into like a crash?
Yeah, at least 6.
They're training for 50 G's.
That's crazy.
Max Verstappen, the biggest crash was like 50 plus G's.
That's wild.
I think
stuff where you black
when
out
you
and pass
look
out.
up F1 driver, and I know I'm just talking about F1, but look at
Yeah.
them practicing their G-force. It's literally their necks look like brick walls.
Yeah.
Like it's like huge.
Ooh.
I put this high difficult.
Yeah, I
Well,
put it
yeah.
impossible.
Either way, like I'm putting racing in difficult, if not impossible.
I would
but-
argue impossible. Let's put it a high difficult for now. I put it above any other sport
I
there.
say impossible.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Bowling,
get in, get paid.
get in,
baby.
get paid. I
Get
think
in,
that's
get paid,
that's
baby.
easy. That's easy. Yeah, that's probably one of the easy. That's
Yeah.
the second easiest
For
one.
sure.
Football.
Football's an
American
interesting
football.
This is an interesting one because if you're a big dude, if your mom fucked a bulldozer, all of a sudden you're a linebacker. It's pretty easy.
I'm gonna
You
give.
just be big.
I'm gonna give you guys a really hot take. I think it's possible.
You just be big. That's it.
It's
I-
not
yeah.
just be big. I think there's so many. If you're big, there's a position. If you're fast, there's a position. If you can throw a ball, there's a position. If you can run with a, there's so many.
you can
positions.
run without the ball, there's a
I'm,
position.
I'm in
If you can kick a ball, there's a position.
I'm almost in between possible and get in, get paid.
I'd go.
Yeah,
I'd
Because
go,
it
you
yeah.
can be a brick shit house,
Yep.
and like you can
just-
be like,
Now-
it's the same thing if you're in the NBA, right? Like if you're tall, it's like, yeah, we're gonna give you and we'll train you.
I do think it's easier than table tennis. I mean, it's harder than table tennis. Sorry.
Yes,
So I'd put it in front of table tennis.
but I'd put it in front of tennis as well.
No, I don't agree with that. Tennis, I think, is harder.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say it's
There's
harder.
so many more, and you have to think
You
about.
guys are gonna get crucified in the fucking
okay,
chat.
Okay, hear me out though. There are positions in football that are very difficult. Being a quarterback, being a wide receiver, cornerback.
I would just
Those-
want to be an all-star kicker. That's it.
Exactly.
So awesome.
Kicker,
Yeah.
very, very easy. If
There
you have a
are-
good leg, great.
Yeah.
You were a former soccer player, you're hired.
I
type
think-
shit, right?
Yeah, I think football the positions are harder, but I think when you compare it to tennis, there's very little room for pro. There's so much more room to go pro. If we're talking about getting paid, college football guys are going to start getting paid, like NCAA and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you can make a college team, you're getting paid.
Right.
I think there's more football players, like more openings, more opportunities for football players, like a football player to go pro.
Yep.
So based off that, I'd put it behind tennis. I think tennis is just harder to go pro in because there's less spots.
Okay, but here's my question: is outside of the NFL, CFL,
CFL, if we're talking about getting
XFL?
paid,
The Rock's, is
X-
The Rock still doing his XFL?
XFL is still
Or UFL?
around.
Whatever
Or
it's
UFL,
called,
but college ball.
Okay, but are you considering college ball professional?
Yeah,
Because
you're getting
now
paid.
that they're getting paid,
paid.
but like,
I'd still consider
Okay.
it. If we're considering
it's-
college baseball, we have to consider college football, I think.
no, but I think baseball's got like more leagues in other places too.
Dude, college football is like more popular than college baseball.
No,
by
no,
a
no. I'm
mile.
not arguing the popularity
Yeah.
of it, but I'm saying that that's not a realistic. If I'm a player, I get cut from the NFL. I'm not going to be looking at college football as my next resort. That's not possible.
Well, if you get cut from the MLB, you can't look at college.
No, but
baseball.
I could go to Japan and play baseball there, and
Yeah.
that's still pro baseball.
Yeah, but we're talking about tennis right now. I don't think it's
No,
higher
we're talking about football.
So either way, we're putting football in
possible.
possible.
Just put
Yeah,
throw it
put it in
impossible.
possible.
Esports get paid. Easiest
For
thing in
sure,
my
for
life.
sure.
Get paid.
I'm considered an esports
Okay,
professional
well,
player.
NHL's you actually we've both been esports players. Let's go, man.
And I've paid everybody in
Yeah.
esports.
Yeah, exactly. You paid us. Woo!
So we have MMA gloves. This is more combat sports in general. Terry, you should probably lead this one because
Get in, get paid. This is probably the
I was not
easiest
expecting that.
easiest barrier of entry, even to become a champion. You could be terrible
Oh
in
my
so
God.
many aspects of fighting, but good in one thing, and that's it.
That's true.
Look at Habib. Habib's great on the ground. Striking,
Derek
not
Lewis.
very good. Derek Lewis is fantastic on the feet. Everywhere else, you could just be a fucking big dude,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden you're in the heavyweight division. Look at Brendan Schaub.
Yeah, that's
Okay, that dude's dumb as rocks. Was in the heavyweight division.
that's fair.
I'll have to take your guys' lead on that. Like,
100%.
I was just not expecting you to
I
say
wasn't
getting
expecting
paid.
that either.
1,000,000%. It's the easiest. If you have
Yeah, that's fair.
this is what it used to be. I don't know if it still is, but if you had 3 amateur fights with a winning record, you could go pro.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, so that's fair.
That's
Yeah,
very
That's
easy.
fair. And it's also getting paid in combat sports. Like I feel like there's so many charity boxing matches and stuff where the guys probably you
Jake
don't
Paul.
get paid, but that's close to getting paid.
No, even outside of that, like let's say I'm a professional fighter and I sell tickets, I'm getting paid for those tickets,
Yeah, that's
and I'm
fair.
getting paid for my fight
Yeah,
too. Like
that's fair.
you're getting paid, so
Yeah.
for sure.
All right,
That's
Rahel, soccer.
easy.
Okay, as someone who just signed up for rec league soccer, I'm in my I just finished my second week.
Get in, get paid.
It's not get paid. It is you do not realize how much cardio goes into soccer until you actually start playing a proper game. Like we had less subs this week, and like, oh my god, dude! Like they were like play forward, and I was like, guys, have you seen me? You want me to play forward? What? I think it is. I think people think it's very easy. It does have a very low barrier to entry.
And there's so many.
There's
teams
so many
that you could
teams.
play
That's
for.
the thing.
And
It's
it's
like
it's everywhere in the world.
it's so popular.
The 3 of us could all make professional soccer in a week.
No,
There's so
dude,
many
I'd be the-
teams.
I'd be the
No,
coach.
No,
For sure.
not even close. I would go.
possible.
I'd be the person reffing offside.
I'd be between football and volleyball. I think possible.
I'd put it lower end of possible, to be honest. It's
No,
not
it's
hard to
harder
make
than-
money in soccer. It's not, dude.
But it's
I
a
went to
harder
high school
sport.
with dudes. I went to high school with dudes who played professional soccer, and they weren't very good players. You can make money in soccer and be professional. It's easy.
I'd put yeah, I can't just take credit in you saying that it's easy, but like I'd right now say that it's undoable.
No,
Like,
I would
you-
not put it up that high. No way.
You still have to be incredibly skilled.
To some extent, but like,
Like,
there's
you can't just
so
kick the ball and
much.
just assume that you're making the team.
I think that's the
No,
thing.
no,
is
I
like,
understand that, but you don't have to be Ronaldo to make these teams. You can
No.
you can be an okay soccer player, and because there's so many places to play soccer,
Yeah.
you can find a footing for yourself.
Now the only thing I'll say is like, unlike MMA and like combat sports where it's like you only have to be good at one thing, soccer it's just it's not like I can be good at like heading the ball and just absolutely not know how to kick a ball. You have to be good at kicking a ball, and kicking a ball is a little like when you're like going for huge passes across the field, like cross field and stuff. It is not that easy, but Is it harder than football and tennis? I don't think so.
See, and I still want to move football up to possible, like, or to doable at least, because like the injury aspect, like you have to realize like it's such a short career, and you get passed up in years from the next guy coming up.
Yeah.
Like football, I think it's got to get moved up, and if you guys want to put soccer impossible, then I'm fine with that.
What do you
Okay,
think
now
of that?
I raise the question: is are we going for longevity in these careers, or is it just making it to pro?
I think it's just making it to pro.
Then football's
I would say I hear a lot of football players who like, oh, I went pro in college. I could have gone pro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
another interesting topic too. Is they always say, oh, I was in college. I could have gone pro. So like technically speaking, you could argue that college doesn't count as pro, but for our sake's argument, we'll keep it that way.
It depends on
The
like,
college
the type
and-
of
yeah.
If you're,
I think. What do we think about this list?
I
I
hate
think it's
how
hilarious
hockey's the
that
only one-
hockey's the only one up there.
Yeah, like-
I said racing should be up
Yeah,
there.
I would agree. Racing should get moved up.
Okay, move racing up. What do you think about moving baseball up?
No.
No, I'd say
You
it's-
have to be. You have to be. You have to be able to hit a 90+ mile an hour fastball 2 out of 10 times.
Yeah, but
to
you could be a utility player or someone that's like just has a crazy OBS, right? So an
Yep.
on base percentage.
But you have to hit the ball.
or OBP, but
Like the only player who doesn't hit the ball is a pitcher now.
yeah, but even getting walked all the time, and once again, like for baseball, like you can get you can hit 3 out of 10 and still make it to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
But I'd argue like if you're below 2 out of 10, you're not making it pro.
No, but there's a lot of guys that hit under 200 average every single year.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, I'm comfortable with that list. I
Any-
think there's going to be some spicy takes though.
Yeah, I'm just surprised like with what
So
you guys said
we
about
do have
MMA.
vetoes. Is anyone going to use one?
Would you like to use one?
Yeah.
I think I'm okay with it. Charlie seemed like he was upset about football.
Yeah, I think football should be moved up to doable.
So are you going to veto it?
And I think football should go ahead of. I think football should go ahead of basketball.
That's crazy. Do you feel okay with that now, Rahil?
Because I think it's easier for basketball than it is for football. I
I'm
can
good
see
with that.
I can see it flipped either
I'm good.
way.
I'm good with that. I the only thing I would do is maybe move soccer up 1 or 2 sideways.
Yeah, soccer should go.
I'd put it ahead of volleyball, behind tennis. If I can do that as a veto,
yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
do that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Ahead of tennis or behind tennis. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm fine with that list.
All right, that looks
How you
good to
boys
me.
feeling?
Good.
Yeah.
Good?
Good.
Awesome.
Well, let us know in the comments if you like, hate, or agree with everything that we said. We'll see you in the next one.